Chat Sports. We are in the house, and we want some people to come on. And I have some great news this morning. This is our first streaming live mobile Yard Chat Sports, and I'm just coming on this morning, and we're going to speak about UFC because what I mean, it's not a good look when it comes down to UFC. Dana White, how fighters are being treated. Fighters are being treated like crap, man. What's up with that? Why Dana White treating fighters? Hunter, I don't understand. John Jones supposed to be the number one fighter in the world, and he's getting treated like he's a piece of crap. What's going on? And the question is this morning, and a lot of fighters or UFC, they're not being real because I believe the UFC. I'm going to keep. They need a union. That's the only way you could stop these people for treating fighters. We heard Eddie Hearn said that the UFC fighters contract, they're horrible guys. Those contract is one-sided, and a lot of people, thinking Francis was lying. I don't think Francis was lying. I believe UFC, it is to look out for their own interests and to fill their pocket with money and not looking out for the fighters. These fighters risk their life. You go in the ring, you never know how these people, what's going to happen. And for Dana White, not paying his fighters and the contracts, they're horrible. It's horrible, man. It's horrible, guys. Something needs to be done. And we hearing Michael Van and Page speaking about this. Who else? A lot of people, man. Justin Gagey, um, so many people. Nate Diaz, um, and I'm on the record. I think the UFC is biased when it comes down to Conor McGregor. So many things going on. The White House court is a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. I feel the UFC right now is betraying their fighters. Their contract is horrible. You heard what Eddie Hearn said. The contract is horrible, guys. And welcome, guys. Welcome to my live. Welcome to my live stream this morning. My name is Wesley, the host of Yard Chat Sports. We are live. We are live this morning, and I'd like to thank all my people that made this possible to give us our. We received about over like so many subscribers for the one day that I think it starts Sunday into Monday, but we have to wait a while for YouTube to get in the algorithm to tell us that we could go live. And it send you the email, thank you, congratulations, 50 subscriber. It take a while for you to go to the system. I guess they got to scan your channel to see if you have any violations and things like that. So I always say, before we get into the show, my name is Wesley. I do have another podcast. It's called Yard Chat, um, Yard Chat Podcast, where we do commentary on different things, but this channel is specifically for good morning, good morning, good morning. I pick rapper. Good morning. I don't know your first name. Nawi rapper. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And we're gonna speak about the UFC this morning. This is my first live stream video, and we UFC need a union. Do we remember when Francis was going back? That's why Dana White would remove Francis because Francis was speaking about the fighters' pay, how fighters was getting treated. The contract was one sided. There's no. Once you sign that contract, you have to wait for that sundown, whatever it is, clause. But there is no way for you to get out this contract. It is bolt and deadlock. The UFC have lawyers that the lawyers are top notch. When they give you a contract, people, you are in that contract. If it's five years contract, 10 fights, 20 fights, whatever it is, they own you. And what the UFC is doing to John Jones is disgrace. Um, you know, we know John Jones, the hip replacement, but the way Dana White is speaking to John Jones, who 5 years ago, John Jones is 38. 5 years ago, this man, Dana White, went on the record. John Jones is the best UFC fighter. He's a GOAT, this and that. It's all about money. They use you for your money, use you to generate the UFC. Let me tell you something, people. Not keep see, UFC is so biased that these commentary, DC, Chelson, and Michael Bisme, all of these people, they do not talk. They work for UFC, so they cannot say anything bad. Because if they do, they will be terminated. So they talking about, oh, they fight. Let me tell you something, people. You have fighters making $8,000 a fight. That is nothing, people. These people are putting their life on the line, and Dana White and Hunter Campbell are playing checkers with these people's lives. Once you young, they're going to use you. You're going to be the best. They're going to use you, use you until you reach that point in your life where you no longer the top notch no more. Now they are why? So you will give John Jones $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall, and John Jones is saying Tom Aspinall he didn't he need to fight Cyril Gane before you come fight me. So these are things, and Dana White, these contracts that these fighters sign, bad contracts, people, bad. When I say bad, these contracts are bad. That's why Dana White is a liar. And I'm going to keep it real. Dana White is a liar. There is no way Francis, 6'6" or 6'5", 270, 80 pound, grab you up. You lying. You're lying. Lying, Dana. Dana is a liar. Dana is a liar. Dana, I'm not getting a good vibe for Dana right now because it's all about making power move and using the fighters for their benefits. So, in order for the fighters to have some type of recognition and acknowledgement in the UFC, they need a union. The UFC need a fighters union. They need a union for the fighters. They need it, people. And the more and more people leaning towards that, they want a union because what's going on in UFC, guys, it's not cool. It's not cool. People don't understand. You having people come from organization and come to UFC and the contract that they're getting. People, Michael Van Page are very well known. Nick Diaz and the Nick brothers, the Diaz brothers, build UFC. Who else? Chuck Liddell, build UFC. Randy Couture, build UFC. What else? Rampage, John Jones, Evans, Forrest Forrest, people. I could go on and on and on. The UFC need a union. They need a union. They need to get a union. The only way you're going to stop this mad machine from getting out of control is when you put a union. Because this was going to happen. If all the fighters come together, Dana White cannot fire everybody. Once employment or employees want a union, you have the right to form a union. You just don't do it on your work time. You do it respectfully and you gather your people, your information, and you cast a vote. I guarantee you that's why Dana White hates Francis, because Francis was speaking truth and reality. People need to be wake up and know what the USC, you know, unions are weak today. No, 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 no. Stop it. We have unions that is looking out for the welfare of the fighters. That's what it is. There is no one looking out for the fighters. There is no one looking out for the fighters. Even if you go in there, you negotiation, there is no negotiation when it comes to a UFC contract. Why is that? You know what I mean? You come in a sport. John Jones gave UFC the best years of his life. This man is a champion since he's 21, 22 years old, or 23, I'm not sure. He's been in this game for over 15 years. He fought every person that you put in front of him. And all John Jones is saying, Dana White, with all respect, what I have done for your company, and you guys haven't paid me what I'm worth. The UFC fighters are not getting paid what they're worth. And Dana White, they are taking all the money. Let me tell you something, people. UFC could make $30 million a night, and they're not even giving their fighters $1 million. If you're not Conor McGregor, you're not going to get $30 million. So you mean to tell me Connor is worth more than John Jones in MMA? What are you talking about? Listen, John Jones is the number one. He's the GOAT. And look how you're treating the GOAT. If you're treating the person who that brought up UFC to the next level and have this record that is UFC is the one that he worked for, represent, and you cannot work with John Jones and say that, out of respect for what the man contributed over years, you went on national TV, how you disrespecting that man? Let me tell you something. Dana White can't even compete in the ring with these guys. Dana White wouldn't even last a minute in the ring with these guys. But yet, people in the UFC are biased. All those big time, Michael Bisping, all these big time people, they are biased. They will never talk about the UFC. These fighters are not getting paid what they are worth. They are not. Who's making the money? Dana White and Hunter, UFC. They're worth over billions and billions of dollars. But yet, the fighters don't have insurance. But yet, fighters have a disgusting contract where it doesn't benefit them. Every contract that the UFC give out, it benefit the UFC. It doesn't benefit the fighters. Dana White do these stunts to say he's giving money. People, it's a cover up. Do you think because I knocked somebody, you're going to give me $100,000? Now they're saying raise it. It was at 50,000. Now you still have to pay tax on that money. You still have to give your trainer. You still have to give your dietitian. You still got to give your coach. You got to give everybody their fine cut out of it because they contribute to your team. So you get $50,000. By the time you look, you probably got maybe like 10 for yourself. Don't forget, if you're married, you have a family, you have kids, you need to eat, you need somewhere to live, you need clothes, you need training. You need to take care of yourself. And you think giving a fighter $100,000, that's nothing, guys. Let me tell you something. When the UFC give these fighters 1.4K or 1.5K, 3.5K, 3,000, 300,000 people, they do not exactly get $350,000. They have to pay tax. They have to pay out their people who brought them there, the team. And that's who costs you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. You want a dietitian to prepare your food to cook for you. That's cost money. You have to buy the food, and plus you have to pay the person who preparing the food. He's a dietitian to keep you, make sure you make that cruiserweight, lightweight, heavyweight, because you cannot be of a certain level. You have to eat right. You need a dietitian. They cost money. See, the thing is, these people will do these things on commission up front, but when they know you're gonna fight and you getting $300,000, listen, they want their 10 grand. And this other one won his 12. This other one won his 10. And by the time you look at it, you turn around, out of that 150,000, you probably wind up with 25,000. Remember, you have to pay Mr. Uncle Sam that don't take no BS. As far as the fighter is saying, you cannot forget to pay your tax. Oh my God, your tax. UFC fighters have to pay the tax. Let me tell you something. The UFC is scamming the fighters, and the fighters don't even know it. Now a lot of fighters know it. Before, fighters speaking about against it, Dana told, oh, the fighters getting compensated. A lie, they're not. So why fighters are coming out saying Dana White and Hunter Campbell are robbing them, giving them the worst contract? There is no way out. And you got to understand, some of these MMA fighters are very desperate. Desperate. Some of them have kids. Some of them have kids. Some of them have families, wife. They got to take care of responsibility. And when you're not you put your life in jeopardy, people. Do you think Dana White will go in an octagon and fight for $8,000? You see, let me tell you something, how disgusting these people are. If If Dana White, if the situation will reverse, I wonder how he will feel. Let me tell you something. I don't know if Dana White have a son that's going to get MMA. His son just celebrate what, some type of birthday, 16. I think his son is probably about 20 now. Um, I don't even think Dana White want his son to go in that route because he knows there's no money in there. And if you're not one of those elite fighters, you don't get nothing. You understand? If you're not one of those fighters that the crowd and the people want to come and see, enjoy the way you move in the ring, you will not, your career will not go nowhere because you're not going to get paid and you're going to complain, oh, I'm not getting paid, why I'm doing this. You're doing it because you like what you're doing, and you're supposed to get compensated very well. And UFC fighters are not getting paid well, people. They're not. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. They need a union. You see, listen. What the union does is to for them to put a break on their contract and listen to your complaints, listen to your arguments. Right now, the UFC don't give a damn about their fighters. All the UFC see you is a fight to put on and dollar sign. They don't care. Hunter Campbell, Dana White doesn't care about his fighters. He don't. Over the years, Tom Aspinall talking about a lot of things. Just recently, Tom Aspinall that the UFC sucks. You're not going to get. You offer to give John Jones $30 million to fight me, but you're not willing to stick. If you could get that $30 million back, then to fight Tom Aspinall, why you can't get it now? I don't understand how anyone in UFC think this is something good that they believe that the UFC, you know, is in their corner. The UFC is not in their corner. The UFC is not in the fighter's corner. They are in the UFC corner themselves. All they care about is a pocket to get fat for UFC, for them to put on these big so-called show that's coming up. Um, White House. That card sucks. That card been changed so many times. I'm hearing Cyril Gong versus Alex Pereira. I'm hearing Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira. I don't know what's going on, but all I know is this. I am not going to call Tom Aspinall the real champion until he beat somebody for the belt, for the champion. The belt was given to you. You have to prove to your fans that you are worthy to be the heavyweight champion of the world. Right now, the belt was given to you. Tom Aspinall have a lot to prove. Tom Aspinall have a lot to prove. And I don't know, but I be seeing things online that he's going against Alex Pereira. People, the UFC, they need a union. What do you guys think? I think the UFC need a union. They need a union. And the people who are against a union, they don't want the fighter to be successful. You know, you have Francis that won in the record said Dana is a liar. John Jones won in the records, Dana is a liar. Let me tell you something, people. There is such thing called the horse concept. And if two or three people saying the same thing about you, all we're saying is to take a look at what you're doing. Because I don't believe the UFC support their fighters in the way that it's supposed to support. I don't see it. What people say, oh, what's it? Why you come to that conclusion? The reason why I came to that conclusion is this: by the fruit you shall know them, and the fruit what Dana White and UFC is pushing right now, it's bad fruit, bad people, bad. saying that you don't care about your fighters, you don't care where to go, you don't care if they don't ever do MMA again. You just against they're not for the fighters, because if you for the fighters, for the corporation get better and everybody get paid well, good insurance. So these are the things that Francis was pointing out and putting UFC on blast. And Dana White, there is some not true. There is someone is lying. 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 And we see over the period of months who's lying, John Jones or Dana White. Who's lying? Dana White went on the record and make those statements. So that means he is aware. The statement that he's making towards John would never, never. But a couple 2 years ago, I am the greatest. He's the best. But now you saying that you don't. I don't even have that benefit of that respect. Just for the work I put in, I don't get that benefit of doubt. I get treated just like everybody else. Get put on the shelf. And you hear what Dana White said. John Jones don't like. He going to retire. Wow. I just don't believe how Dana White treats his fighter. He treat them like shit. Keep it real. He treat them bad, guys. Because I cannot see how you're not gonna pay these fighters for all these years what they did for your corporation, for your company, made you rich, filthy rich, and you repay them and say that their advice, what they're telling you, is no good. The fighters will tell you that you need to pay them properly, but the UFC saying that no, the fighters getting compensated well. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. Francis exposed that. Michael Van Page exposed that. Michael Perry, Nick Diaz, Nick. Everyone is exposing UFC the way they treating people and the way people are being treated in the organization. It's bad. It's bad, guy. I don't care what anyone say. I don't care if you agree or disagree with me. I don't care. I don't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't agree with me or not. But all I'm saying is that fighters union needed. Agree or disagree? Anyone in the chat? For the people in the chat, do you agree the UFC need a union for the fighters? Because the fighters are not getting paid properly. The fighters don't have insurance. All Dana White paid his fighters that's it. They're not responsible for nothing else. And that's a damn shame. What happened to insurance? You mean to tell me UFC cannot give these fighters at least insurance and they can more than afford it? But Dana White said no. You have to hit Dana White in his pocket. The only thing Dana White respect is money. But Dana White is a schemer. He's a promoter, people. And a promoter want the best thing for their what? For their promotion. They want the upper hand. You think they're going to get the only way the fighter going to get respect? And I believe it's Francis set the tone. Israel Asanya also is upset. Khamzat Usman. A lot of people are speaking it, and guess what? It's the older fighters. It's the older fighters that's supposed to be compensated well that are will be retired in a couple of years. And don't forget, people, these fighters have to go out to get their own insurance. What the UFC giving them, they got to pay insurance out of that. Is that fair? No. You understand? So where's the UFC responsibility? So they don't have no type of accountability. Dana White and what's his name over there? Hunter Campbell. They don't have no type of responsibility for the fighters. Just pay them money and that's it. No insurance, no benefits, nothing. Bonuses for knock out someone. You literally gotta knock someone out to get money from the UFC. Bull crap. Pay these fighters better. And all of these fighters fight each other, want to knock it. That's why a lot of these fighters getting knocked out because people are going there and they want to knock people out because they want money. But it's the money that the fighters are getting is not comparing to what UFC, Dana White, and Hunter Campbell is getting at the gate. They are getting millions and millions and millions. And also, you cannot forget when they have these events, you don't think they have vendors there? Monster, no good for UFC. The uniform, the Venom, no good for the UFC. Not for the fighters. Everything that's in the UFC does not help the fighters. It's only to fatten the UFC pocket. Dana White. And Dana White is making millions of dollars a year. But the people who put in the work, go in the gym, sacrifice their brain cells, their body for Dana White for entertainment, and Dana White turned around and said, you know what? You're not even worthy to get money. The only way the UFC will feel and Dana White will know what these people are going through, you have to hit them in their pocket. And it's when the union come in, we will have access to all the money, who's getting paid what. Then everything has to be opened up because this is coming. They need a fighters union. Don't forget, the UFC just lost a big lawsuit. Over 300 and something $1 million. The only way, and I'm going to say it for the UFC, you need a union. You need to go to a union so Dana White could sit at the table and hear how your guys feel. That's the problem. Dana White don't care. He turned off that. He turned off sensitivity to the fighters. He turned it off. He don't give a damn. He turned it off. But the only way the fighter will get that respect is when they sat down with a lawyer and they all negotiate on this union contract for the UFC. And I believe it will. It will take a couple of years, but I believe Francis ready to set the yellow print. John Jones, I believe these fighters, they are talking. And if the fighters come together and demand, but you have those demons that support Dana White with the UFC, those fighters, ass kissers, plain and simple. They kiss in the UFC, but Dana White and Hunter Campbell, for them to get a promise, for them to get a contract. And when they find out, when they finally find out what the contracts say, they are screwed. They're screwed. So we're going to sit here and talk about, oh, the fighters need better pay, but Dana White don't want to pay them. What you have to force Dana White to pay you, and how you affect a corporation in where in their pockets. You have to hit the UFC in their pocket where they realize fighters are serious, and your guys not going to take advantage of no more. And I pray to God that the fighters want a union. Why do you think Dana White don't want Francis back? Dana White is a liar. It's obvious. You know when Dana lied? You know when Dana lying? You know when Dana lying? When you see him, let me check. Let me show you myself. When Dana White, let me show you when Dana White body language. When Dana White is speaking like this, and he's like this, he do that little shoving. That means he's thinking what to say. He's thinking of something, and it's all a lie because he know if the fighters come together. That's why Dana White, each fighters have different contract, and they don't want to tell each other the contract because some fighters are making more money than others. It should be a salary base for the MMA fighters. These people are putting their brain cells, their body parts for the UFC, and when it's all and done, who will suffer more, UFC or the fighters? Take over 50%. Listen, listen. I don't give a damn about the employees. I don't give a damn about the receptionist. I don't give a damn the wellness trainer. Anybody that work for UFC, I don't give a damn. All I care about is the fighters because it's the fighters that's more important. And I'm sure those people that are working for Dana White have benefits and they're getting paid well. Talking about they never laid anyone off during the pandemic, but they made $1 billion, $1 million during the pandemic. Fighters don't have no insurance. It's sad. It's sad. And the sad part about it, these fighters, man, you see them people. DC hand can't close. Steve Bay's done. Justin Gagey is done. Nate Diaz is done. People, their body is shot and their brain cell is done. Is it worth it? As a UFC fighter, is it worth it today? I don't think so. You have people that going in the octagon, getting knee in the head, getting elbows, getting forearm, getting kicked, getting punched. Dana White don't know how that feel because he never got in the octagon. He just a promoter. And the only way for Dana White and Hunter Campbell to realize the damage that what they're doing to these fighters, they have to sit at a table, done it, did it, people. Let me tell you guys a story. A couple years ago when we went to nursing, right? We had to go on strike. We work short, we're getting more patients, and we're working short. You call out, they ridicule you. You just, the work dump was hard. And don't forget, I'm not comparing. There is not enough money to compensate someone that taking care of another human being. It's all about empathy, sympathy, and love. And money cannot replace that. So we ask management, please, we need to be compensated. We overwork. Give us money. But meanwhile, these people going to Albany getting millions of dollars, but paying HR and all these people big time money. And the people who do the most for the people are not getting recognized or the recognition. So therefore, we had to get a union. Me personally, I sat at the table. I'm a union delegate. I formed two unions in my lifetime. I know the legal term behind it, and it's good. Right now, I belong to 1199. So back then, there wasn't paying us. So okay, what we did, we all came together on one accord, on one page. The purpose: get compensated well for your worth, for your job. HR is getting promotion. Directors, everybody's getting, except for the workers. Something is wrong. So we had to come together and we all sat at the management table. Everybody's at the same level now. So when we went in the union expressing our feelings, management was surprised. Not say they were surprised, but they didn't know, they knew, but we had to express the way we feel. These people brought in landscapers to beautify the land. Everything was everything. We pointed out all of that to them. They were shocked. And I said, we need a union because the only way this organization will listen to us is when we come together on a one umbrella, represent ourselves, and we're going to demand these things, and we got it. We got it. Even some people in management was with the union because deep down they knew people was getting paid right and wasn't treated right. These directors was speaking, they was horrible. But when we all sat at the table and we all expressing our feelings, some people quit, some people got fired, and some people got demoted, and some people left because the acknowledgement of the workers was acknowledged and they didn't like it because it's going to be money. So that is what these UFC fighters got to come together on one accord and demand. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how you shut these people down. I don't give a damn how rich and wealthy the UFC is. If all the fighters come together and said, listen, we are on strike until our contract is renewed or dismissed, new contract with none of these disgusting clauses. You cannot get no sponsor. You cannot work for no one else. You cannot make no money, but only to the UFC. And when you are going to the UFC like Venom, you're not getting nothing. Munter, you're not getting nothing. You all go to the UFC, and the UFC pick and choose who they want to give it to. That is bias. So in order for the UFC, they have to be forced to be fair to their workers. But the only way that come into hand, these workers got to take a stand. These fighters got to take a stand and tell Dana White, this behavior is unacceptable. It's not going to be tolerated anymore. Why you think Dana White couldn't speak to Francis like how we speak to other anyone else? You think Francis was going for that? Because Francis stood up to Dana White. Dana White don't like that. He like, yes, master, yes, sir. You ain't no damn plantation here. Don't let me start Dana White. This is done, people. UFC need a union. And if they want to know how to form the union, they could hit me up and I will let them know. If majority of the fighters want a union, there is nothing your Dana White could do. Then all the books will be looked at. Fighters deserve $100,000 base pay. All the fighters, $100,000. People, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, people. People don't understand. When you go to the ultimate champion or whatever, it's a contract, $94 million for $600,000. You do not get that money up front. To me, oh my God, $600,000. Well, I want that contract. It's a $600,000 fighting contract, and it's not one fight. And when you look at it, you are not really getting $600,000 because you have to pay tax. So if the UFC give you a contract for $600,000, that is your salary, that is your cap. You probably will fight about 6 fights, 5 to 7 fights to get that $600,000. So you will be getting, if you get the ultimate champion, you probably, if you have 5 fights, what $200,000 a fight or $250,000 fight, whatever. But it's not a lot of money because you have once you think that $600,000 is a lot of money, but you're not getting that $600,000 because you're getting taxed on that, and you're paying who? Your dietitian. You're paying your trainer, your manager. You're paying people who are working for you to get you in fighting shape. So that $600,000 is not even $600,000, people. The way the UFC language, how they write the contract, they got over on people because when people come into the UFC, they are desperate. So if Dana White could do this to the GOAT, John Bone Jones, they could do it to anyone else because they don't respect no one. If they don't respect John Jones, you think they're gonna respect you? Come on, people. Listen, guys. This is many of more commentary gonna come on this platform. And I'm looking forward for people to come on. If you are a sport commentator, you know about sport MMA. You know what I mean? I missed the last commentary of MMA last week, and I wish I could have went live. But check this out. Thank God that YouTube allowed me to go live on this platform because we reached our goal. We got over like 56 subscribers to go live since Monday, and today's Wednesday. It take 24 hours, like a day and a half. YouTube got to scan your schedule, your schedule, your platform. Make sure there's no copyright infringement and all that. But once they see that, boom, 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 then this morning, last night, I said, "Oh my God, I could go live." So I'm going live today, and we're going to do more live shows. I will be going live when there's live MMA commentary, things like that. I believe this channel going to be better than the other channel. I do have another channel. It's called YARDCHAT Promotion. It's on YouTube. So now I have Yard Chat Promotion and Yard Chat Sport. And I believe both of these channels are gonna meet, they're gonna pop up on a feed. People, so I don't know if I have any subscribers now on this platform who knew. I don't know if anyone subscribed this morning, but thank everyone that helped me on this platform, this journey with this MMA sport talk or MMA sport. We're gonna speak about a lot of things, and also Floyd Mayweather, people. Floyd, what's going on with Floyd? You know what I mean? It's a mess. You know what get me with these people when it come down to when people come on and say, oh, they need they broke. Let me tell you something. That's all propaganda. They used to say that about Mike Tyson. Let me tell you something. I want to get Mike Tyson. I want to be Mike Tyson broke and Floyd Mayweather broke. I want to be their broke because their lifestyle haven't changed. They still first class. They're flying at best hotel. They go there. You know what I mean? Nothing changed. Nothing haven't changed. So these people, they're not broke. They're not poor. I do not see Floyd Weather going out to go work anytime soon. Yeah, yeah. These fighters, they the white. They need to be paid. You have the best MMA fighter ever step in the octagon, and you treat him like crap. You speak to John Jones like he's nobody. You see how he get nasty when I told you, he get nasty, and that was the fight that you was big enough. Oh, John Jones is the best fighter. Yeah, while he was, could fight. John Jones could fight. He had bad hip. Because over the years, John Jones do a lot of kicking, and your hip it's wear and tear in his body. John Jones never took a lot of punishment, but he gave a lot of punishment. His body, kicking his hip, and he could barely run this and that. Listen, Dana White, if that video didn't leak of John Jones, then that was foul. That guy leaked that video. So if that video didn't leak, would Dana White have the same thing? Same, would he have the same vibes? No. So what that's telling you? That's telling you he's using these fighters, and these fighters are idiots because they're making someone don't sign a damn contract. Expose them. Eddie Hearn just exposed Tom Aspinall contract. He said this contract is bad. He says horrible. He's, Dana White and Hunter Campbell are giving. There is no way out. There is no negotiation. They give you here, take it or leave it. And these fighters, they would take it. That's why Dana White do not want Francis to come back, because Dana White is afraid because of the union. He knows the union. If the fighters come together, that's why Dana White talk crap about his fighters. Support back to bring this type of division and conflict to keep them divided. Because listen, people, that is the world oldest strategy to divide and conquer. So if you divide your workers and your fighters, they're not together. Who they going to fight? Who they going to conquer? So Dana White is still the man. The only way Dana White going to respect you as a human being, you got to hit them in their pockets. That's the only way these corporations will acknowledge you, is when the money stop. And that's what the fighters have to do. I believe that the fighters go on strike. It's impossible. And hear this now. Let me tell you how wicked the UFC is. If say the fighters go on strike, do you know the UFC would bring in fighters and pay them more money? Seen it happen. Seen it happen. Fighters are complaining. This person coming making more money than me. What is this? And Nate Diaz have a bone to pick with DC Daniel Cormier, because he said, "Listen, man, yeah, you the champion, but guess what? I made more money than you. And if you want, listen, take away Daniel Cormier championship, Nate Diaz is more popular than a lot of these big time fighters, because they build the sport, man. They build the sport with what they took punishment for us. As bad as Nate Diaz is, he's still a very good businessman. He might slur in his words, but he's still a good businessman. Why should I go back to UFC to do a Connor trilogy and you're not going to pay me? And I could go fight with MVP, with Jake Paul, and I could make $10 million? But you want to give me a cup, $200,000? What would you do? I would take the opportunity to get the $10 million. So it's the fighters. I appreciate it, Gary. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. The fighters need advocate. They need someone to speak for them, and that's why they need a union. Ali's another crook. The only manager that outsmart Dana White, and Dana White is mad about that, people. He's not mad. Listen, Dana White is mad because Francis outsmart him. And how you repay someone that don't want to do the right thing? You go out and prove to them that you are worth millions. And Francis went and fought my Tyson Fury, and I believe he won, and got a $20 million bag in one night. Way more money than being a UFC heavyweight champion. Do the math. Why? He fought Joshua. Even though things went bad, he still got the payday. Then he came back in MMA. So right now, Francis is probably worth about 50 to 60 million dollars, almost $100 million. But he said he never made millions in the UFC. Because what Francis want to do, Francis building camp in Cameroon, MMA, his own money. And Dana White promised them to go UFC Africa because he know it would benefit Francis. The three kings, Usman, Israel Adesanya, and Francis. They were all the champion at the same time. And they're all from the motherland of Africa. And then till this day, Dana White haven't took UFC to Africa. Francis did. That's where his money went to. His family. Because you heard what he said the other day. You could keep the damn legacy, Dana White. Keep it. But give me my money. Give me my worth. And that is a good businessman. And Dana White is terrified of that. He's terrified of Francis because Francis is not a bully. Francis came from the lowest part of anybody in this human being that came into life. The struggle this man had to go through. But his perseverance, the consistency, and push forward. So there is nothing Dana White could do to Francis to say this man is not worth. He went out and proved. And Dana White know what Francis is doing is right. He want a union. Francis should go to Dana White and say, man, you need to pay us better. And Dana White didn't like that. And that's why Dana White sent out that blacklist. Talking bad on Francis, oh, this and that. Francis not the guy you think he is. You're a lie, Dana. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. Because Francis want insurance for the fighters, union, all of these things because nothing was benefiting the fight. He said when he looked at his contract, he said the only reason why he's taking the contract, he was desperate. But he said in his mind, he is not going to sign. He vacated the belt and said, you know what? Take your damn legacy because it's about my legacy, my family, and you do not want to pay me my worth. So therefore, take your damn belt and I'm leaving. Then Dana White is the one that went around and make up these stories about Francis this, Francis that hard, grab his neck, grab him up. A lie. So why you didn't call the police? If this man assaulted you, why you didn't call the police? Come on, Dana. Dana White met his match, and it's Francis Ngannou. And whatever Dana White said, it just bounced off because it doesn't matter because Francis already made up his mind. And they want him to sign so quick, and Francis said no. Because if he would have resigned, he would have been in the contract. They would have had him. He said no. He said, Dana White don't want Francis to come back because he know if Francis come back. I don't know how long Dana White going to wait for UFC, but at this point, it's poison. I believe Dana White is poison to UFC because he do not have the respect and empathy for his fighters. That's the problem. The money is more important for UFC than their fighters. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? And big up to everyone, man. Guys, I don't know. Let me check. I have to check behind YouTube Studio, see what's going on. This is my first live, man. Gary, thank you, man. Where you from, Gary? What state you from? You love MMA. I love MMA too, man. I think MMA is it's a very good sport, but unfortunately, MMA right now is not in a good angle. Dana White, Hunter, the way the UFC is going right now, I don't believe the UFC going to be like this forever. I believe something is coming. I believe fighters are sick and tired. I believe they are tired of it, and they want to change. They want to change, guys. I believe the fighters want to change, and the only way they're going to get the change, someone have to take the initiative to put Dana White in his place and Hunter, because you are not treating your fighters right. You're not paying your fighters, and that is just my concern. You're not paying your fighters, and it's not just today. I'm hearing that. I've been hearing that for a very long time, and it seemed to me every fighters always sing the same tune. They are not paying. They're not getting paid right. Fighters need a union. They need a union, people. They need a union. Michigan, yeah, welcome. Um, if you haven't subscribed, Gary, please subscribe, man. We want to get to 100 subscribers, and we're halfway there. You know what I mean? We're halfway there, man. It's just my views and comment, man. I love MMA, but when I see fighters that afterwards, you know, what they have to go through, um, traumatized, brain damage, speech impairment, slurring the words. MMA is a dangerous sport. I advise no one, no kid, my kid, no. Football and MMA, boxing, your brain keep getting. Yeah, they saw the punch drunk. All the fighters have it. All of them have it, man. Tommy Hearns can't even talk. You know, it's sad. It's sad, guys. You know what I mean? This is what we have to go through, and these are what the fighters going through. And with my you know people, your is good when you see these guys on TV. You see, yeah, they're all hyped up, getting all the fans, and they getting all the glory and all of that. The fans is there, everybody's hyped up. But when you are by yourself and you know that you didn't get no type of compensation for it, now you have all these health complications, and you don't have no money, you don't have insurance. The little money that you had is gone because it wasn't enough. But Dana White and Hunter Campbell, UFC, walk away in the sun with their money, and the fighters don't have nothing. Is that fair? That's all I'm saying, people. Is the UFC fair to their fighters? No. That's why they have to get a union. And the quicker they get a union, the better for them. They need a union, guys. I'm for it. I'm for it. I'm for it. And I don't care who get mad. Listen, these are just my thoughts, and I believe they're real authentic thoughts, where I believe UFC need to be checked. And the only way these fighters, they have to come together and demand it, better pay, insurance, but no one is listening. So the only way, you have to slap Dana White and UFC in their wallets. Then heads will turn, and people will start paying attention, because guess what? Your presence is felt. And that's what the fighters have to do. They have to move on the UFC and say, listen, we are here, and we are tired and sick of tired of the treatment. We're sick and tired of not getting paid, compensation well. We're sick and tired. We putting our brain, our mind, our body on the line, and Dana White and Hunter is in the back room we're counting millions of dollars and setting a fight, and fighters not getting paid. I blame the fighters because the fighters are the one to be blamed. Because if you know this and you're still doing it, well, that's on you. But if you just found this out and you want to work out how you can reverse these things, there's a way to reverse it, guys. What the UFC is doing is wrong, but it's the fighters have to take the initiative and say, you know what? We're gonna put your guys on blast and what the world know. We're gonna let the system know that you will not tolerate. We're not going for this. We need to be heard, and these things need to be exposed. With UFC not paying their fighters, fighters are getting injured. Fighters going to the hospital saying UFC didn't even ask them about what is this. I don't know, people. I don't know. You know what I mean? A lot of people saying that, oh, you know, that's how it is. No, that's not how it is. We choose to let it be like that. We choose to let it be like that. That's how it is. No, that's not how it is. It shouldn't be like that. If you could do that to John Jones, you could do that to anyone. That means you don't have respect for no one. And guys, listen. Um, I was gonna start a poll, guys. I was gonna start a poll, but oh guys, thank you for the like, guys. I was gonna start a poll, and I didn't do it. But what do you guys think? You think I should start a poll and see, what? I don't know, man. I listen. I've been on for an hour. Um, I'm just gonna be on for an just an hour and an hour and 1 minute. We are on. Wow, what's this? This is the first time I'm streaming on Yard Chat Sports. I appreciate everyone that's coming in. Wow, man, we have 63 people. Thank you, guys. You know what I mean? I appreciate it, man. I should have came on earlier, but Gary, thank you, man. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. My name is Wesley, host of Yard Chat. I do have another channel. It's called Yard Chat podcast. We have 2,229 subscribers on that platform. We are fully monetized, up and running. We want to do the same here, but it's step by step. We have to reach our goal, and our goal is to reach 500 subscribers and watch time. We need 30. Oh God, 3,000 watch hour. That's supposed to be monetized for 3,000, but I don't want it 3,000. I want 4,000, the big one where everything, just like the other channel, where everything is open. You know what I mean? Everything, with ads and all that, AdSense, or you get commercial ads and all that. I want that to the other channel, to this channel, because we have it on the other channel. But it take time. We're gonna move forward. Thank you very much, Gary, for hearing me vent, man, about the UFC this morning. I appreciate it. And Gary, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to both channels if you can. Subscription is free. If you subscribe to Yard Chat Podcast, that will give us 2,230. And our goal is to reach 2,500 subscribers for the summer. So we halfway there and reach 3,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It can be done because we did it last year. There's nothing impossible that God can do. And also, guys, this platform, it's I'm not forcing nothing on no one, but this is just my personal belief. This is I believe in God. I believe in God. What I mean? If you don't, this is not no preaching or trying to, make you, whatever it is. But all I'm saying is, I believe in God. I don't believe I came here by myself. I believe there's a divine power that watch over me that, see everything. And that's the God that I worship, the true and living God. So I don't, all these other things, I'm not into all that. But you know what I mean? I put everything in God's hand. These platforms, I put it in God's hands. And God will send the people that need to come to hear. And if you want to be part of Yard Chat Podcast or Yard Chat Sports, email me. It's one email. And thank you for the like. It's one email. YARDCHATpromotion@gmail.com. And I hope my mic, guys. I have to fix my mic, man. I don't know. This thing here, number one, you know what I mean? I like this mic, but what happened? I broke the it was a nice stand, man. I broke it. But this I have a stand for it, but it's not like the best stand. But I mean, how's my sound, guys? I want to make sure my sound is clear. Because that's one of the most important thing when you in YouTube. Make sure you have a very clean so people go hear you clear. So how's my voice, Gary? Is my voice clear? You know what I mean? I just want to make sure because I will be doing another live today on the other platform. So now, wow, it's you know what I mean. Wow, you know, it's a good feeling. You could go live. You know what I mean? It's called both platform now. This platform going to do real good because you know, we're going to go live on MMA, box, anything in sports. We're going to go live and do a live reaction commentary about it. And you know what I mean. And if you're first time, welcome to Yard Chat Sports and welcome to Yard Chat Podcast. Two different platforms, Yard Chat Sports, and we have Yard Chat Podcast. And this is a smaller channel. The other channel, you know, we growing over there. So if you want to subscribe to both channels, guys. Subscription is for free. You know what I mean? And thank you very much, Gary. Appreciate it you coming in. Gary from Michigan, man. Michigan is in the house. Michigan is in the house. Yeah, man. All right, Gary. Appreciate it, man. I'm out, guys. Thank you for the 6 likes. Usually, you know, what happened was before I go, I did a live on the computer. I could have went live on my computer, but it's a different vibes. But that video did well. You know what I mean? I just put up that video. What was it? 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 weeks? And we got over 1,000 views, and it's growing. I think it got over not 1,000 views, 100 views. It's growing. I mean, you got to start from somewhere. You know what I mean? And right now, you know, appreciate everyone that sending their clear. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, I appreciate it. And did you subscribe to the channel? Make sure you subscribe, man. Subscribe to both channels. You could subscribe to Your Chat Podcast. Um, this is the other channel that you know we do commentary over there. We listen that channel. We have over 1,400 videos on that platform and over 2,200 subscribes. So you could subscribe to that Your Chat sports channel, and you could subscribe to Your Chat. Yeah, this is my other channel here, Your Chat Podcast. So this channel, Your Chat Sport, and we have Your Chat Podcast. You could subscribe to that, and appreciate it, guys. 2 channels. The other channel is in green, and just like this channel, sport channel is in green. The other channel is going to say Your Chat, but it's a different logo. Still Your Chat, but a different logo, guys. All right. Until later, guys. Bye.